Live streaming is on.
Okay, guys, good morning. Welcome to math. We're going to work on more division today. It's going to be a little bit longer. I think yesterday you were using just a single number. What we're going to do today, we're going to do a little, we're going to use two numbers. So the first thing I want to do, I'll put the problem on, and I want to talk about it first. So if you have 75 into 547. Okay. So if you see that on the test or wherever we see it, a couple things we want to do here, just to get an idea. You're probably going to, the first thing I want you to do is think about rounding. Okay, so we're going to round 547. And so we know 47 is less than 50. So that's probably going to be 500. Okay. Then the 75, we're going to round up to 80. So really we're looking at 8 into 500. Okay. And if you know 8 times 6 is going to be 480. So we're probably looking maybe about 6 times, but it could be 7 times or maybe as little as 5. Because remember, we rounded one number up and rounded one number down. But just so you get an idea, when you get your answer should probably be 5, 6, or 7. Something along those lines, just because we're just doing the basic rounding. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that problem. So it's going to be 75 into 547. Okay, so we know this 75 is bigger than 54. So 75 is not going to go into 54, but it's going to go into 547. Okay, so it's going to go probably 7 times. So if we do the 7 times a 5, that's 35. We're going to carry the 3. Then if we have 7 times 7, that's 49 plus 3 is 52. The 7 minus the 5 is 2. And 4 minus 2 is 2. So we know it's 7 times. Okay. So, and then I shorten this problem. But what we'd have a remainder of 22. So you could either do remainder of 22 or put 22 over 75. Because whenever there's a remainder, we always put it over this number here. So that one would go 7 times. Okay. And remember when we estimated, we said it was going to be 6, 7, or 8. Okay. So it's just a way when you start, you get an idea of what your answer is going to be. Okay. Now let's do another one here. We're going to have, I'm going to do one longer this time. 66 into 6270. Okay. Once again, we're going to round. If we look at this, okay, that's good. If we round up the 6, this is going to be 70. In this one, if we round the 7 is going to say that 6, that 2 is going to go to a 3, so it's going to be 6,300. And we know 7 would go into 63 9 times. So we know our answer is probably going to be around 9. It could be 7, maybe. Oh, excuse me. It could be 8 or it could be 10. It's usually going to be one less or one more. Remember, we're rounding this number down and this number up. So it's not going to be exactly, but you're going to realize it's going to be probably 8, 9, or 10. So we're going to look for that in our answer to make sure we're in the ballpark. Okay, let's go ahead and do this one. So 66 into 6270. Okay, so we know 66 is bigger than the 62, so it's not going to go in there. So we're going to start over this one. So 66 into 627. Okay. So I'm going to put 8, and we'll start with 8. 8 times 6 is 48. We're going to carry the 4. Oh. And 8 times 6, 48, plus 4 is 52. But what we're going to realize here, you guys, I want to show you something. Okay, we're going to do 17 minus 9. That becomes 6, 4, 1. So our remainder is 149, which is bigger than this number. So we didn't divide by enough. And whenever you get a number, the remainder down here is bigger than this number right here. Oops. It means we didn't. Okay. It means we can put one more into it. So we're going to have to back up. We're going to have to get rid of that 8. And we know it can go one more in there. So it's going to be 9. So 9 times 6 is 54. We're going to carry the 5. 9 times 6 is 54. Plus 5 is 59. Okay, the 7 minus 4 is a 3. We have to borrow 12 minus 9 is 3. And then we're going to bring the 0 down. And now 66, how many times does that go into 300? It's going to be 5 times. And you're basically just going to get, you can round here again. We're going to do 70 into 300. We know 7 goes into 34 times, but this one we rounded up and this one we rounded down. It's actually going to be 5. You want to try 4, you're going to find out it's too small. So we're going to do 5. 5 times 6 is 30. We're going to carry the 3. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 3. It's 0. That's 95. Okay. So I want to go back and make sure. Let's put that one up again. $66 into 6270. Okay. So that one I maybe confused you a little bit, and I apologize. Remember, we're going to round this to the nearest 10, so that's going to be 70. And this we're going to round to 630. Okay. And we know that goes about 9 times, because 9 times 7 is 63. And my first number I put up there was 8. And 8 would be a little too small, so I want to show you what happens when you put the 8 up there again. So that would be 48, carry the 4, 52. So how you know the number is too small is when we subtract 17 minus 8 is 9, 11 minus 2 is 9. So you get 99. Okay. But whenever this number here is bigger than that number, we didn't we didn't divide enough into 627. So if you get a number down here that's bigger than that number, we had to put one more in there. Okay. And that's always, because sometimes it's trial and error, you guys. You might not know exactly what number to put in there, but you start with 8, but 8's going to be too small. And how do you know that? Is because the remainder is bigger than this number. Okay. So that's just one way, because I know we're not going to know all the time exactly what goes in there. That's why we kind of estimate and do the best job we can. But when you actually do it, and this number right here is bigger than that number, we're going to have to go back and I can put one more into there. Okay. So let's do another one. Okay, let's do 43 into 4085. Okay. So this one, we're going to, if we look at rounding this, we're going to round to the nearest 10. This number here, the 3, is less than 5. That's going to be 40. And then this 8 is going to be basically, it's bigger than 5. So we'd round that. That would be 410. If we round the 408 up to 410. So we're going to look, 40 goes into 400 10 times. Okay. But we're going to go back and look and realize 43 right here can't go into 40. It's too big. So what we know is it's probably going to be one less than 10. So I'm going to start with 9. Okay. And we'll do 9 times 3 is 27. We're going to carry the 2. Then 9 times 4 is 36 plus the 2, that's 38. So 8 minus 7 is 1. Then we're going to have to borrow 10 minus 8 is 2. Okay. We're in good shape because this 21 is less than the 43. The next thing we would do is bring this 5 down. Then it's 215. And this one, well, 40 goes into 200 about 5 times. So that looks like a pretty good idea. We'll start then 5 times 3 is 15. We're going to carry the 1, and 5 times 4 is 20, plus that 1 is 21. So that's going to be 0, and it's 95. Okay? And that really makes a lot of sense because remember I said the first thing we thought maybe was 10, and we're a little bit off. It's a little bit less because for this one we rounded down, this one we rounded up. But like I said, when we were starting, our first guess would have been 10, but I said sometimes maybe it's a little bit bigger, maybe it's 11, or maybe it's a little bit less, 9. So we know it's going to be either one less or one more, if not the number. So the ballpark is either going to be 9, 10, or 11. Is how many times the 43 is going to go into the 408. Okay. So let's do one more. This one we're going to do 77 into 770. Now this one, you guys, you're going to be like, okay, this makes, I got this one, because you're going to realize, well, 77 goes into 77 one time. And then 1 times 77 is 0. Then we bring the 0 down. How many times 77 go into 0? That one's 10. So when you see this number right here and this number right here, you know they're going to go into each other because they're the exact same number. So that one will be, if you get one of those, it's going to be real straightforward. Okay. So keep in mind, you guys, I want you to, when you get a problem, I'll show you one more, just so you get an idea. 96, if we had 96 into 211, let's just do this one. Okay, so this one, 96, we're going to round up to, because that's bigger than 5, we're going to round that up to 100. And 211, so this number right here, it's less than 5. So that's going to be 210. So how many times does 100 go into 210? So right off the bat, you're like, well, it's probably 2. But once again, it could be 1 or it could be 3. But we're going to start with 2, okay, just as a starting point. Okay, oops, excuse me. So 2 times 6 is 12. We're going to carry the 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus the 1 is 19. Then you're going to have 11 minus 2 is 9. And then 10 minus 9 is 1. So we know it's 2 times. And in this case, we have a remainder of 19. If I put another number there, we would just done 1 more. But just to give you an idea, this one, you're going to look at 96. Well, let's round that up to 100. And the 211, I'm going to round it down to 210. So I'm off the bat, I'm going to like, how many times does 100 go into 210? We know it's going to be 2 times, and there's going to be a little bit left over. Okay? So I'm going to stop there. I will post some practice. But when you get big problems like this, you guys, I want you to think about rounding just so it gives you a starting point of what that first number is going to be. And it might not always work out. And remember, if this number down here is bigger than that number there, then we didn't put a big enough number up here. We have to go 1 higher. And it's just the way, it's kind of trial and error. But it gives you a really good starting point. All right, you guys, I'm going to start science here in about 15 minutes. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.